Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. And welcome to you new subscribers. So, what you're looking at here is the old trusty Panzer 38H. The most important commander builder tank you can own. Yes, it is a tier 2 and it is absolutely a monster. Now, what you see is the current commander, Bullseye, Heinz Volltreffer, whatever the heck his last name is, I forgot. Oops. But he's really cool, as you can see. And he has the, I guess the rain poncho. The MG42 is the killer. With those two style Handgranate. Hand grenades. Handgranate. Fantastic looking. Terrific in every way. So, I have him in my 38H. That way I get to have, an actual legitimate German soldier in this tank. Previously, I used my Nazi zombie, Ravenous Rolf, but I have him in my Hohenhund Halloween special super light tank. So I was playing a match yesterday, and it was really odd. And it turned out to be like super fantastic. It was a great game for me, obviously. You'll see why. If you haven't gotten the drift yet, I'll explain that to you. But then there's an extra special reason which made it an absolute no-brainer for a video. So we're going to get to the action straight away, as they say. That was not planned, that just came out that way. Oh! Welcome to the mines. Now this is a 7-on-7 battle. And it is myself, as well as 3 other humans, along with 3 robots. I gave those guys some basic instructions. They're not using their headset, so it's like, talking to a wall. So, when you look at the thing, what does the enemy have? The enemy has a Steadfast, a Viper, an E6, and a T2 Light. We have a T2 Light, an E6, myself, and a Steadfast. So, I'm the big dog of this match. And one of our guys bit the dust instantly by whoever killed him. The Steadfast just murdered him. The Steadfast has a monster magazine and can rip a guy like a T2 Light in one magazine. So my dealio is I'm trying to get the E6. And the E6 is right over there. The E6 is the most threatening of all of their tanks. If I kill him, it should be really not a big deal. As far as power is concerned. Now their T2 Light is super fast. So got to keep your eyes on this guy to a degree. But these guys clearly didn't know what they were doing. I mean, they're killing my guys left and right. My guys are horrible. These guys are just bad. My deal is this. I'm working on this E6. This guy is the only guy that can really kill me in a matchup. Indirectly, he's smart to be at long range, but then again, I'm more of a sniper than he is. And that guy's doing nothing. That's a Steadfast shooting my tracks. Well, okay. Yeah, a little bit. Viper. I don't know. I think it's a Steadfast. I don't have much choice here. Well, this guy's going to get mited. Now, as you can see, it's 5 versus 1. you pull off the 5 versus 1, and you get the wonderful Kolobanov Medal. So long, chump. That's our toughest guy, dead. Now these guys are in bad shape. This guy is just steadfast. He's got no shot. He's a minor threat. Each one of these guys is a minor threat only. Goodbye. He's a robot. As long as he doesn't pull out his cheater aim with his cheater gun, you know, you're okay. This guy just doesn't have enough juice to get me. And this is where they make a huge mistake. And they've been making a huge mistake for quite some time. Go to my base. I was fighting the E6. One of the guys needed to go to my base, the Steadfast, the fastest guy they had, or the Viper. Go to my base. Force the time to start. Force the clock to make a presence in the match. There's no clock. If you don't get to my base and sit on it and start the clock running, you know, I'll do whatever I want. Now we have the top clock in the sky, 11 minutes and 7 seconds left. Anything can happen. You got to get that minute and a half clock started on that base. So just absolutely stupid. One by one, they have just folded. They got my suspension. Whoop-de-doo. He ain't killing me. Viper. Who's the other guy left? Oh, he's a robot. The tier 10 weirdo. He's the medium 2. Medium 2 does have kind of a potential chance, you know, busted. The Viper is a fun tank to play, but it shoots nothing but 50 caliber bullets. It can't do jack squat to my armor. The 50 caliber bullet, in case you don't know, is a 12.5 millimeter. You know, it's a machine gun bullet, literally. Great bullet, but not against tanks. Well, you know, tier 1, okay. In fact, you know, one of the early anti-tank rounds was a 50 caliber round, you know, in the earliest days of tank combat. Literally rifles with 50 caliber rounds, which is a 12.5 millimeter gun, was an anti-tank round. And where is this freaking? Oh yeah. I go to the thing is, see, I'm in a race right now. I don't know where this guy is, so I'm hoping to get to his base before he gets to mine, because I'm slower than dirt. You got to know how to win. That's the lesson my dad taught constantly. Got to know how to win in any sport, whatever game you're playing. So I needed to get to the base first so that the speed of my tank is not a concern, because my speed is trash. So to win games, you have to know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and play to your strengths, not to your weaknesses. So I don't want to let my speed or lack of speed become a determining factor in the match. If it does, well, you know, so be it. That's what happens. But so I got to the base. Now he has to come back to defend his base, or I just capture and win. Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't have to kill 5 guys to 1. I just have to beat a 5 to 1. So if you kill them all, brownie style, you know, you can get a Kolobanov Medal 8 versus 1. I got an 8 versus 1, but I captured the base. I couldn't kill them all. So, you know, tomato, tomato. I killed them all. That's a Kolobanov's Medal. Now, when I was fighting at E6 on the island, I wasn't aware, I wasn't paying attention of how many enemies there were. I was just trying to survive. I was just, you know, taking care of the issues at hand and not worried about future glory. Here we are at the end of game screen. Not that there's anything wrong with looking ahead to see the future glory. Ooh, if I win this, I could get a Kolobanov's medal. But business is business. So we do business first, glory second. Now, you know, if you have time, if you're in a platoon and everybody else is dead, someone will mention this to you, perfectly fine. But you really shouldn't be worried about it under the actual pressure of the match. You need to be in the match. Whatever happens, it happens in your normal behavior. That's really what it is. Just be yourself. So as you can see, really had a terrific game. Now, I use all premiums. So this is during the silver with interest operation. So I made money this time instead of losing money in my 38H. Got a real good 11,000, commander points. Killed 6 of the 7, which was unbelievable. I have killed all 7 before. But the key one here is that there was 5 versus 1 and I got him. 1,400 damage, that's how I got paid. But the thing that when I was talking to my friends and I sent the picture of the medal to them, I looked at this screen and I thought, oh, great. Caesar's ghost, as Perry White would say. Most of you don't even know who that is. He's the guy who was the boss of Clark Kent. And look at that block number. I blocked 3,200 damage, almost 3,300. That is insane for a tier 2. I've never seen that number that high. Normally you get that from some like killer blocking tank, like a Minuteman is a really good one. That's wrong ways. Wrong ways. It's almost a catchphrase for him. If you talk about blocking shots, he's gonna tell you, man, when it comes to blocking shot operations, I go straight to the Minuteman. And it's really hilarious because he's not wrong. But there's a lot of, stronger armored tanks that you would think, oh, shot block 3,200, No, Panzer 38H tier 2, it's unbelievable. So everyone was quite impressed, as was I, because I wasn't planning, they just happened. Now, here we are at the medals. And this is where the butt kicker, Kolobanov's Medal, awarded to a player who stands alone against 5 or more enemy vehicles and wins. Doesn't matter how you do it. If they kill themselves, it doesn't matter. If you capture their flag, it doesn't matter. If you kill them all, like I did here, it doesn't matter. You just have to come up with the win somehow. And, you versus, the enemy team. The whole team that's left, at least it has to be 5 or more. So, very difficult, even as you see at tier 2, you have to know exactly what needs to be done to pull this off, because it's still 5 versus 1. Now, those guys did make mistakes. They did not put up a dual threat. And the dual threat is, while I'm engaged in combat, someone has to go sit on the base. If you don't sit on the base, you give the guy all day to do what he needs to do. I took all the time that I needed to clean the clock of that E6. He was the #1 most dangerous guy. I have to kill him to win the game. So if I fail to kill him, I lose anyway. So I have to kill him to eliminate him. I cannot allow his speed and his gun to run rampant on my team. That's why I stopped. I had him, and he voluntarily stopped on that island. I'm like, dude, you can't beat me in a sniper war with an E6. And that guy is a very experienced E6 player. I don't know why he did that. He plays E6 all the time. Sometimes he's on my team, sometimes he's not. But that guy is a good player, and I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't recommend what he did. That's a losing proposition. He made a mistake, and the fundamental mistake of a light tank player is the one he made. I always tell people, light tanks' strength is not their gun, not their armor, it's their speed. Now, that's what I call the speed light. And a light tank that's fast is a speed light. So he was in a speed light, which is a T1E6. Very fast, strong gun. It does have a very strong gun, but not as strong as mine. So you don't want to fight the enemy where he's strong, which he was far away from me, so my armor and my gun were better than him at distance. He needs to be closer than what he was, and that's the key. I did not get close to him because I don't need to be close. I just need to be able to hit him. So you got to combat your enemy where he's less strong and where you are more strong. That's exactly what I did. My strength was in my range of my gun and the accuracy, as well as my armor at longer range. His inaccurate bullets were going to be deflected somewhat, which it was happening right there. So he made a big mistake. He should have broken off. It's hard to break off, though. I want to kill this guy, you know. So he should have broken off and gone somewhere else. Make me move, because my weakness is my speed, or my lack of speed. So these guys made numerous mistakes. I knew the mistakes they were making, and I knew how to exploit them. They probably weren't even aware they were making mistakes. That's the difference of getting a win, and in this case, a Kolobanov's medal, versus not getting it. So this is where you have to learn all of these things, and I tell people the 38H is a tremendous training tank because it's slow, and so you have to think about where you have to be. What is your positioning in the game? And my positioning was pretty good. Could have been a little bit better. That steadfast guy was shooting me in the track. No one's perfect. Under the pressure, you just got to go with what your gut is telling you. And so my gut reaction was to do it the way I did. Could have done it perhaps a little bit better, but it was very good and good enough to win. But always look for potential improvements. So that's what you saw there. Now let's see what else. The medals we got: cool-headed, tons of ricochets. That's the blocking stuff. High caliber did the most damage, obviously. Shell-proof. Total damage blocked by your armor exceed the hit points. I exceeded what? I had 3293. That's almost 10 times my hit points. That's ridiculous. You know, fire for effect is do more damage than your hit points. Bruiser knocks out crew or modules. Duelist, you kill 2 or more that did damage to you. The sword, this is the top gun. You killed 6 tanks, which is pretty fantastic in a tier 2. Steel wall, received potential damage of at least 1,000 and survived. And 11 hits. Yeah, it was way more hits than 11. Way more than 1,000 damage. Oh yes, I survived. And I got a second class badge, which isn't bad. I do have an ace badge in this tank and multiples, but you got to get into 15-man games to get that ace badge because the damage requirement is just so high. So the other guys, 1,400 damage is a very good number, but it's not awesome. So that steadfast guy did kill 3 dudes. He probably scored quite well, relatively speaking. Very interesting. So, actually, you know what? The E6. Like I said, this guy's a good player. I don't understand why he did what he did. He did 0 damage to me. At range, he just didn't do any damage at all. So that's kind of the the weirdo. I don't understand what he was doing because he's a good player and he's known to me. So well, whatever. You can't worry about that. You have to play the best that you can play at the time you're playing. You do your best. Whatever happens, happens. You don't worry about it. I did my best, and it was great because I got that medal. Now I have multiples of those medals, but the thing, like I was telling you, the 38H is so powerful in training you to be a better player, because I tell people, yes, it's slow, but what it trains you is to get in the correct position. Because if you cannot get in the correct position for the match the map you're on and the situation you're in, if you can't get in the correct position slow, how are you going to get there fast? Because it's your speed doesn't put you in the correct position. Your brain puts you in the correct position. And it's slow, so it makes you think, where do I need to be? On that map, I was far enough away from the guys on the mine ramp where they couldn't get me. And I was far enough away. The key one was staying far enough away from the E6 because he's got a powerful gun if I get too close. So you got to find the correct positions, get to those positions, and then execute your plan of attack from those positions. That's what I was doing. And the 38H is awesome. It teaches you how to do that because it forces you to do it. So if you don't have it, I have in my videos, get the 38H. It's totally free. Just go to the store, search for the World of Tanks, and then the Joint Forces 2-pack. You can see it's a black front page, whatever. But anyway, that covers that. So I hope you learned something from this video. Leave a question if you have a question. So please leave a like for this video. It will help spread the word across YouTube. And there's always new players, and they need help to get better. So if you could leave a like, it'd be truly helpful. Tell your friends. That way they'll have a chance to check it out, learn something if they can, and possibly like and or subscribe like the other guys. So it was a great match for me, obviously. I enjoyed the heck out of it because it's always nice to pick up a Kolobanov's medal. It doesn't matter how many you have. It's just a fun medal to get. And the thing is, when I got it, I knew that I would make a video to show you how you could possibly get one for yourself if the situation strikes. And that's the key, is to take advantage of the situation. If you've seen it done, like this video, then you have a much better chance of executing it when the opportunity comes your way. So I hope you guys have the best of luck in your quest for a Kolobanov's medal. They're not easy. You can get them at all tiers. It's just a matter of opportunity and then execution. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in another video probably today or tomorrow.